So we're here with Barry Hearn at Riley's Sports Club in the Haymarket. Just had a big announcement today with darts and the PDC and the World Championships being sponsored by William Hill. But boxing, Barry, and you've been entered into the Hall of Fame. What was that like?
It was an unbelievable experience. Obviously 4 days in Canastota, which is a small village with 5,000 people. Suddenly, like Groundhog Day, it's transformed into 30,000 people of all the boxing fans from around America and across the world. Yeah. All my heroes were there. It was an honour to be included, and it was quite a unique experience. I'm sleeping in my rig most of the time, you know. It was a real honour, and I really appreciate it. I loved every minute of it.
No, definitely. And I mean, as a promoter, what were some of your favourite events that you put on?
There's so many. I've done 630, 640 shows. Difficult, but you know, you'd have to go back for me. Probably my first champion, Mark Reefer, beating John Sachula in 1989. My first entry, Bugner Bruno in 87, and then the glory years of Eubank, Ben, Collins, and Watson were great. And actually, now I'm enjoying the twilight, if you like, in the shadow of my son, watching the most amazing night I've ever seen in boxing. 80,000 people at Wembley for Froch Grove. So, you know, in boxing you're going to get some bad nights because of the nature of the sport, but you're going to get some nights which will sit in your memory bank forever. I think the sport throws out those unique evenings. I've been fortunate and honoured to have a lot of them over the time with the career, you know, starting the career of Lennox Lewis, Nazim Hamed, you know, working with some great fighters, and some of which have been household names, but some have just been great lads. And you know, and actually, the two are I hold the two in equal esteem.
Definitely. And I mean, you mentioned there the other night, Froch Grove's Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people, and it wasn't just the night it wasn't just that night, but the day before with the weigh-in, there was 8,000 people at Wembley Arena for the weigh-in. I mean, Eddie, he's doing such a great job with British boxing. How long will it be till he's in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think you've got to do a few years. When my envelope came, inviting me to be inducted, he asked me whether they got the name right on the envelope. I said, well, I've done 30 years, you've done 3, so maybe you've got to do a little bit longer. But, you know, I have to say, I know I'm biased because he's my son, but he's an outstanding promoter. He understands the sport, he has honesty, he has integrity, he has my bank account access, and he loves boxing. And, you know, you can't take away sheer enthusiasm and passion. It's the most important ingredient you can have. You know, he runs a successful business and he's putting more work. I think that, you know, the industry's changed now. Old people like me, Warren, Maloney, all these type of guys, we're yesterday really, because the new world is all about social media, tweets, Facebook, interaction with the fans, broaden the base of boxing, not just for fight fans, but for general sports fans. And that's what Wembley was, a huge success for the general sports fans.
Definitely, and I mean, with that, it attracted, like you mentioned, the general sports fans, not just boxing fans. What more can we expect from Matchroom Boxing and the rest of this year?
You know, we're on fire. I mean, we've got not all of the great fighters in the country, but most of them. I think we're going to show that we can do a really good job for fighters. We don't seem to have a lot of complaints from our fighters at the moment. We're giving them, you know, obviously we have the benefit of the exclusive contract on Sky TV, which gives us a huge amount of power, to be perfectly honest with you. And with Eddie, if he can maintain his passion, his commitment to the sport, I think you can look forward to a lot more big nights in British boxing. I think the sport's going to go to levels that are unprecedented on the back of his expertise. So I'm just happy he gives me a free ticket still. Whether it continues, we'll have to wait.
And with Carl, of course, there's a lot of speculation on who his next fight's going to be. He might even retire. And what a way to go out on that! 80,000 people winning, retaining the world title. What do you think?
I don't see him retiring. I think he needs a nice long rest. He's got a smile on his face so big that his head might fall off, you know. But you know, the three, obviously, it's common knowledge to say you've got Kessler, the third fight. There's a value in that. You've got James DeGale, he's the mandatory, so he's got to fight James DeGale or vacate. And Chavez Jr., which is a big fight in the States. Andre Ward, who is the toughest fighter. I think Andre Ward's a great fighter. He doesn't bring enough commercial value to the table. If Andre Ward was a pay-per-view fighter in America, that may change. So it's up to Andre to make that step forward in terms of commercial viability. But the real superstar is Carl Froch. He's the one that sells the tickets, gets the TV pay-per-view income, and you know, he's a great fighter. But more importantly, he's an entertaining fighter to watch. I think the average, you know, boxing fan would appreciate a good left jab, but the average sports fan wants to see a cracking fight. And that's what you get with Froch. What it says on the tin, he's a warrior, and he makes, you know, his style is not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it's certainly the most entertaining.
I think we mentioned that, and he'll be suited to Vegas as well with that. I mean, he wants his name in the lights in Vegas, and I think Vegas will like him.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's another Ricky Hatton sort of exodus of people out there to watch it. I think every fighter needs his name in lights on the strip at some time in his career. It's another box to be ticked. So that would be probably his favourite location. But you know, our job, Eddie's job, is to evaluate the commercial returns, because boxing's a dangerous business and you have to maximise the money. Simple as that.
Oh, that's great, Barry. Thank you so much.